Vanquish. God hard. 0 death, max time bonus. This is 3-1, it's called Forward. This mission is hard, and it also has a cardinal sin of game design, which I really wish didn't exist, but it happens a few times in this game. When you restart the mission, the checkpoint is always behind this forced piece of dialogue where you walk forward in first-person perspective like it's Metroid, and you can't skip it. So if you had to repeat this as many times as I did, you are about to pull your fucking teeth out at this point because you're so annoyed at it. And there's nothing you can do except for move forward and get as much distance as you can. But as it begins, it took a while to get this strategy, guys. I tried a lot of things. I watched a bunch of videos, saw some Japanese players, saw what Godfather Dictator did, saw what Zarok did, and kinda had to make it up as I went along. And I went with a strategy that's similar to Zarok's, but I originally went to the left here and hid behind a bin, and then I realised that using the turret was the way to go, which is what Zarok did. So the strategy is boost with a cigarette all the way down to this bottom box, kill the first Romanov, and then kill the other 2 Romanovs with the turret. Whatever happens after that is entirely up to luck and chance and spawns and everything. Because at this moment in time, while these Romanovs are alive, red Gorgies will endlessly spawn. There you go, the Gorgie came and did a punch on me. Get behind the barrel, clean them up, use your next cigarette once you've reheated, or however you want to say, once you've recharged, and then get back on the turret. So there's the cigarette, boom onto that turret, kill that Romanov, and then get back behind that box. Don't focus on the little shits, that doesn't matter. We'll get those guys later. Get rid of the big fellas. And they can knock you off the turret because they've knocked me off before. But once he's dead, get all the way over here because you're about to get spawned on. Go up against this little, like, potted plant thing. One dude is going to go on that balcony right where my crosshair is, and he can hit you in cover, so he needs to die. There's a second guy to his right, and if you look at the map, there's a shit ton of dudes coming this way. You can preempt them with a couple of good grenades, or you can save it and just like face the consequences afterwards. At this point, you were kind of safe, because a lot of your team are pulling aggro, but every so often that will happen. And also, if you look at my map, there's a couple of red guys real close to me right now, which I'm conscious of, but I know they're not going to give me too much shit. I know they're there, they're not hurting me, so I'm doing okay. And then just from this position, use cover, play intelligently, shotgun close-up things, shoot everything else, and then just focus on the fact that none of them are looking at you, and get rid of as many as you can, as quick as you can. The reason this is difficult is because when you mess up on the Romanovs at the end, which you'll inevitably do a few times because they've all got instant kill grabs that hit you from stupid range, you'll have to do all this again, and doing this first phase gets so tedious because it's really long. And even if you're being crazy and doing what I'm doing right now, being super aggressive and pulling all the aggro and going in positions that aren't safe, it still takes a long time. But hopefully if you watch this video, you'll have no problems. And if you're not doing the no death thing, you can just hit that checkpoint button and you can enjoy yourself. So a couple of guys left, keep peppering them with shots. A couple of grenades. Have you noticed how much the enemies spam grenades? I want to know if, when you play on hard, if they're just as eager with the grenades. Because it's bullshit, dude. If they're not shooting, they're throwing grenades. And each enemy can throw grenades, so everybody has the capacity to do it seems, except for, the unique ones like the Romanovs and what have you. And then the elite guys, the gold Gorgies, they throw 3. But here are the blues. I like to try and get a preemptive EMP on them, and if you can hit them in the face, you can kill them instantly. But the detection on it can be really tricky, so sometimes you end up in moments like this where it doesn't really work. But one thing I've noticed is that these blue guys, they'll either hurt you incredibly, or they'll do hardly any damage. There doesn't seem to be any middle ground with them. Because they're using a shotgun, the spread on it seems to be just as intermittent as ours, so they can end up being easier enemies just because, unless they kill you, they don't really do much damage. But the EMP there works really well. I've had a few different attempts to try and pre-grenade them before they get to the door, and it didn't seem to be as effective as just stunning them and then finishing them off. The LFE gun is really good there because you can do some fun things with it, but immediately boost all the way over here and hit this particular pillar. From here you can shoot that pilot safely, and you can shoot the other gun if you want to, the other transport if you want to, but I never do this. And there's something you need to know here, guys. If you push forward too quickly here before you've allowed some of these Gorgies to spawn, the wall will never blow up because you haven't killed enough enemies, it seems. So you can actually it's not a soft lock, but it's just a bad situation to be in. But once I've killed those people, I push forward, the door comes through, here are the drill Romanovs, my least favourite Romanov because they've killed me the most, and I'm going to use EMPs to keep them in a state of stun, and I'm going to proceed to attack them and try and kill one so I can focus on the other. If you're moving when you throw a grenade, you'll get a longer animation, so be careful of that. And there's also a technique to instantly drop grenades if you don't know of it. If you're rolling, or if you're boosting, I mean the, you know, you tap boost and you do the weird, like, boost flick kick? In any of those two animations, you can press the grenade and instantly drop EMPs and drop a normal grenade which will rattle across and then explode. And you can use this to essentially set up traps and to blow things up very quickly. I didn't have too much time to talk about those drill guys, but they're really difficult. Every one of their moves seems to have this weird vacuum into an animation that kills you. If they do that punch where they streak across the screen, a little bit like the purple guys in God Hand, even if you dodge to the side, you can still instantly die, even if it doesn't touch you, because the vacuum on it is so big. So they'll be an enemy that, unless you're stunning them, you are never safe, because all those moves kill incredibly quickly, and there's nothing much you can do, because the iframes and the dodge are just not as good as I would have liked them to be. And maybe they are, and I don't know the timings yet, and I'm going to try and learn, but here's a tip for you. Instead of dodging with a roll, do a melee. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But you are safer meleeing than you are rolling in this game, because the melee will trade with him, and you'll take no damage, so you'll interrupt him, but you have to time it well. If you boost away, that's probably the safest choice, but sometimes I don't boost on reaction, I roll on reaction, and it got me fucked so many times. So if you are confident that you can, you know, you've got pretty good timing, don't dodge, punch, fight back, do what Vanquish is best. Be aggressive. And another little tip as well, which I couldn't show off, but hopefully you know of it. If you've got the heavy machine gun, any one of the guns that does the flip kick and knocks enemies into the air, on that class of Romanov, if you whiff it and you don't hit them, it'll still knock them into the air, but you won't overheat. It's a wonderful trick for isolating one Romanov, and it works on those dudes wonderfully. But thank you for watching, and you take care now.